Hi, I'm Leslie O'Hare. I am so excited to have you join us for another episode of What's on Your Mind. As you know, I stop in a city or town near you to find out what's on your mind. It's really about giving women a voice to be seen and heard, to have impromptu conversations with me. And so today I am so excited to sit down with Crystal Wimbrey. She is an author, she is an entrepreneur, an executive producer, and co-founder of 360 Films. She's a young lady who I like to call Superwoman because she does it all with grace, strength, and with a smile. Thank you so much for being here today, Crystal. So I want to talk about your 6 schools that you actually helped build in Guatemala, and one of which was the middle school, correct?
Yes.
I really want to talk about that because you're talking right then and there. It's just not your books, but you're all about education.
Yeah.
And to be able to be selfless, to go into another country and help other children that wouldn't necessarily have that opportunity, they will never forget you and the impact that you and your husband are making in the world. I mean, that's just so heartfelt. Why was it important for you to do that?
Well, I've always felt like we were blessed to be a blessing. You've been so blessed, so blessed. And I remember when the idea of the model school trips were presented, and I thought I was so moved by it. I thought it was so awesome that this third world country, they built their schools out of bottle, like recycled bottle. And that's a whole nother story, but it's really cool. So it's resourceful, and it's something that we may take for granted. Like we have sheetrock here, we have insulation, and their schools the walls are made out of literally like stuffed bottle recycled water. But I thought that was the coolest thing, and I always thought to myself, I always heard of people going on mission trips. I always thought to myself, I want to do that one day. And I had a moment. I had like it was like a revelation. I was sitting there, and I remember they were presenting. I was at an event, and they were presenting one of these trips. And I said to myself, I'm going to do this. And it was so life-changing.
Wow.
It was so life-changing. I came back home telling my husband all about it. And he wanted to get on board and keep building the schools and keeping one of them with me. And then let me tell you what's so significant about the first middle school. It's so important because when I learned there, when I was talking with the kids at school and get to meet, some of the teachers and their culture, the kids before middle school, they work. They don't continue their education because they have to help their families out. So they have to go out and work.
They will never forget you and your husband for that. And, you mentioned earlier it takes a village, and it does. Yes. And so thank you all for being that village and support for them, because they will never forget it, and they will always remember that they were you and your husband that came in and really showed love and compassion to them. And what is your legacy?
My legacy, I want to leave a legacy of love. Love.
And God is love. Yeah. What is your I got it moment? So the I got it moment is a moment that you've experienced something in life, but when you look back on it right now, it has a different meaning for you, and it's something that you go, I got it, and it's transformational for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The moment I decided to protect my peace. That was powerful for me.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Try it if you haven't.
Yes.
When you're intentional about protecting your peace, and choosing your battles, and life-changing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Very life-changing. It's funny you said that, though, because I was just saying that to a girlfriend yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Literally, we were having this conversation.
Wow.
She's going through something, and I was saying the same thing to her. There's nothing about peace. If you don't have peace, you really have lost control of a lot of things in your life, and everything's about mindset.
Yes.
And having a growth mindset, a forward moving mindset is everything. And in order to get there, you have to have peace. And peace allows you to know, you know what? I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. Right. We talked about that earlier. And I always tell people, change the things you can change, the things you can't. You got to move on. You got to turn it over to God. That is huge and profound. And I hope that everyone that's watching get that, because I tell you, if you protect your peace, it is so empowering. What is your superpower?
Ooh. I say immediately self-love. I love me some me. I do.
You know what? I love your honesty in that. Because that ties into your peace. Because that's where you get that peace.
Yes.
And there's there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it because you have to love yourself first in order to give to others. You have to have your mind at peace first in order to be able to do the things you do, right? And so I think that's awesome. I'm so glad I asked you those questions.
Oh yeah, those are good questions.
Well, thank you. What advice would you give to women that are juggling so many things right now and they cannot find a way to protect their peace? They're juggling 10,000 balls in the air. They don't know if they're going left, right, up, right, down. What advice would you give to a woman to get her to understand that she is valuable, she is worthy, and that she deserves to have that self-care and to have that peace? What advice would you give to her?
I would say, first of all, slow down, take a deep breath, ask God for direction, pray. And in that prayer, ask Him for vision, ask Him for protection. Sometimes, man, you might just need to be still because He may not answer you right.
That's right.
You may just be still.
Be still and know that I'm God. That's
Be
what it
God
says.
and have. You know what? Another thing, I feel like gratitude. Even when things are not always going your way, what about the things that are good? What about those? So if you walk in a spirit of gratitude, you're constantly reminded of the greatness that is going on in your life, and then you take the focus off of what's not. And I really feel like there's a lot of power in that. Sometimes we just dwell too much on things that we have no control of, like you're saying, or what's not going great, and that may be a sign that it wasn't God's will for you in the first place.
That's right.
And it's easier said than done.
It is.
But it's you got to practice it. It's like and it gets better because it's like a muscle memory.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. That's so true.
Continue to speak life.
That's
we keep doing it. Yeah.
You have to do it, and we're all a work in progress.
Yes.
But we have to start somewhere. We can't keep doing it, giving excuses, and not doing it. You got to get to the point that you do it because that's when it's life changing, and that's when your life will change. So you're so right. You said something just now that's so profound about being grateful and gratitude. Mm-hmm. I always tell people, go back and get your rock. So I speak a lot in churches, and I'm always telling people, go back and get your rock. And what that is that gratitude. So we come at a bump in the road. There's something that's really nagging at us that we're going through. That storm, we're right in the midst of that storm. And the enemy really wants to take us down and break us. You got to remember, go back and get your rock. The rock is exactly what you said. Remember what God has done for you yesterday, the day before that. And if He pulled you through the storm before, He's going to do it again. You just got to hang in there and be still. I love that you said that.
That rock. Go get that rock.
Go get that rock. Yeah,
I like that.
And then now you just made me think of something. Take that rock like David and Goliath and throw it at the enemy and get back on track. I got that from you.
I love that.
Crystal, I want to know, how can viewers find you on social media, and where can they purchase this amazing book series?
Yes, ma'am. So you can go to alphascripts.com, alphascripts.com. And I even have the handle for the Instagram, Alphascripts. It's just Alphascripts on Instagram and Alphascripts on Facebook. And that's where you'll be able to find it.
Fantastic. Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on What's on Your Mind and really telling us what's on your mind. I know there's so many women and even teenage girls that will watch this and be inspired by you. Continue doing the great things that you do. Continue handling everything with grace, strength, and like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, with a smile, because I definitely consider you a superhero mom.
Thank you.
You are amazing.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Well, that's our show for today. As always, you know that you just never know what city or town I'm going to pop in to find out what's on your mind. I look forward to talking to you soon and having more conversations. And who knows, I may be interviewing you personally next time. Bye, everybody.